Hi there, welcome back to Cooking with TheDoerle. On today's episode, we're going to be making a very simple braised chuck roast, along with some sauteed onions and mushrooms and some Yukon Gold potatoes. It's going to be fantastic.
Cooking with TheDoerle. Cooking with TheDoerle. Cooking with TheDoerle.
Alright, welcome back once again to Cooking with TheDoerle. As I said before, today we're making a braised chuck roast. Right here I have a really nice looking, about 2.5 pound chuck roast. What I've done is I pulled it out of the fridge. I'm going to let it bring it up to room temperature for about 45 minutes. And I've already went ahead and put a bunch of salt on it on both sides and just some fresh ground black pepper. We're going to let that salt is going to draw a bunch of the moisture out, and it's going to help dissolve down in there. The pepper's going to help flavor it. It's going to be real tasty. I also had a pound of portobello mushrooms and a single onion. And I went and I chopped the onions up. I just cut the ends off, cut it on in half, and then sliced it so we got some longer pieces. Then I quartered all the mushrooms. I tossed them in a bowl with a little bit of olive oil and some salt and pepper. Also, I've got 1 pound of Yukon Gold potatoes. I cut those in half and I have them soaking in salt water. It's going to help pull a bunch of the starches out so they'll cook a lot better. Then also about 1.5 cups of red wine, just a cheap red wine, some flour, some sea salt, and some pepper. This is a really simple recipe, but it's sure to impress everyone that eats it. Alright, we're going to let this rest for a few minutes, but for now, we're going to go ahead and get the onions and the mushrooms cooking on my cast iron skillet. Alright, as you can see, we've got our onions and mushrooms cooking away happily in this pan. They were soaked already with an olive oil. I didn't add any oil to the pan or anything. Just threw them right in there at about a medium-low heat. And they've been cooking now for about 10 or 15 minutes. So the onions are just starting to get a little bit clear. Everything's soft. The mushrooms have cooked down just a little bit. And the steak has been sitting out for about 45 minutes. So it's getting pretty close to room temperature. So I'm going to clear a little bit of space here for the steak. And we're going to go ahead and sear the sides of it. And then one side before we flip it over and put it in the oven. So what I'm doing here, I'm just holding it by my hands, and I'm going to take each side, we're going to sear it. What this is going to do is lock in all the juices and all the flavors of the steak. I've also already got my oven preheated to 415 degrees. We're going to, after we've braised it on all sides, we're going to throw it in the oven for about an hour and let it roast in there and finish off. It should come out a perfect medium rare, maybe about medium. Alright, we've got all the sides seared down real nicely. Now we'll take it on the one flat side, and we're going to let that cook down for just about 45 seconds or so. We'll kind of stir these around. Okay, that's cooking really, it's searing. You see the edge here? Nice and seared. We're going to go and turn the heat off. The pan's going to stay nice and hot. We'll let that sear on the one side for just a few more seconds. We'll bring in these Yukon Gold potatoes. These have already been drained, so we can throw them right into the pan here. Let's check it. Check the sear. Just a tiny bit more, and we'll go ahead and flip it over. Then we can throw it into the oven. Alright, let's give it a flip. Fantastic, that's looking pretty. We'll take these potatoes and just kind of put them over top of everything. Throw them down to the sides. Now we're going to throw this whole thing into the oven at 415 degrees for 1 hour. As you can see, we pulled our steak out, or our roast out. I've got it on the cutting board. I'm going to let it sit for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Pull the potatoes out because we want those separate from the gravy we're going to make with these onions and mushrooms. We've got all kinds of really good juice in there. What we're going to do is take our red wine. We have about a cup or so of it. We're just going to throw some flour into it. Whisk some flour in. just a tablespoon or so. Make sure it's all nice and broken down. We want this to be nice and smooth. This is kind of like a burgundy sauce, but we're not using burgundy. This is cherry flavored cheap red wine. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn our pan back on, get it on to heat, on a medium-high heat, and we'll just throw that in there, right in there. What we're looking to do is just bring this up to a boil, then we'll turn the heat off and we'll let it rest, and it'll thicken up real nice. Alright, we've got the roast here. We're going to go ahead and, it's been resting for about 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take a few slices out of it and see how it turned out. I think it turned out just a little bit more overcooked than I wanted it. You might want to adjust to a little bit less cooking time. Maybe try it for 45 minutes or maybe for about 50 minutes. That's a little bit more cooked than I was hoping for, but it's still going to be really fantastic, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and try a cut from over here on this other side. Let's see what it's looking like. And that's pretty well done. Of course, we've only cut in just into the sides here. It's looking a bit more medium well just as we get in here just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slice this up. I'm going to make a plate with a little bit of that gravy I made and some of the potatoes. We'll find out how this actually tastes. Alright, well, we've got our roast cut up. We've got some of the potatoes on the plate, a little bit of that mushroom and onion gravy, the red wine in there, got it all over everything. Let's go ahead and give it a taste now. Start off with these potatoes. They are nice and well cooked. Cut right through them. Those Yukon Golds are great. They have a really nice flavor. Plus they're a little bit more yellow, so they have a little bit more color that they add to the plate. This is a little bit of the red wine and onion and mushroom gravy. That's really good. A lot of flavors of cherry in there from the wine I got. But this by itself is a side. Well, let's get on to the main course. The roast here. Now my roast actually came out cooked way more than I wanted it. I like mine a little bit more medium rare, medium than this right here. I got a little bit well done. So what you want to do if you're looking for a more medium rare roast, maybe just put it in for 30 minutes. Not the full hour. I actually took this out at 45 minutes, so it's pretty well done. So that's something I'll make sure I put in the description to give you the timing for all the different donenesses. Let's see how this tastes. That is fantastic. Well, cooked more than I wanted. The flavor is just beautiful. All that good red meat flavor just coming through. You know, you can really tell the salt helped bring everything out. Fantastic. This is a great way to cook a steak. I know not everyone has a cast iron skillet. If you have any skillet though, as long as it doesn't have any plastic or anything on it or low temperature silicone, you can use it for braising. It's a really great way to hold all the flavor and the moisture into a piece of meat. Well, until the next time I see you, make sure to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Also, I have to give a shout out to Captain Morgan with Unchained with the Captain, once again for his video editing skills and for all his filming work. Also, make sure you check out our channel, his channel, with Unchained with the Captain. We've also been doing a bunch of other reviews for Star Wars and stuff, and you can expect more Star Wars videos to show up soon. But until the next video, make sure you enjoy everything you eat.